Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for our e-Gurukula sessions. And today is a Friday. We have a Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So Srila Prabhupada is called as the Senapati Bhakta of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a Sankirtan army with all the devotees, all his close associates, so that he can come and demonstrate how to perform, how to become Krishna conscious, how to perform devotional service. And then for that purpose, his close associates and all were there so that they can assist the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is especially a very special, unique position. He is called as a Senapati Bhakta, who is commander-in-chief, who carried out the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, every town and village all across the globe. And that's why he is a the brand ambassador of the spiritual world. You know meaning of the word ambassador?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, what is the meaning?
Yeah, Prabhu means last time also you had explained, Prabhu means embassy means like one place. Like for example, American embassy means like one place in India where means all the rules and regulations will be American.
Yeah, so ambassador means what? Embassy, correct. Ambassador means what? Brand ambassador. Yeah.
Roj means like he's like a representative from like a particular like place.
Yeah. Just true. Yeah, correct. So he is the representative. So embassy means it represents that country or that place. Brand ambassador means he is a representative. Like let's say a new car has come. So they put some kind of a hero or some kind of a lady to product about that, to advertise about that product. So Srila Prabhupada is a brand ambassador of the spiritual world. ISKCON is an embassy of spiritual world, and Srila Prabhupada is a brand ambassador of that, who has come to represent on behalf of the Supreme Lord, come back to the spiritual world and give us. And that's why we should know, if we also want to go back home, back to Godhead, then how we should lead our life. And most important than life, how we should have our consciousness. Because based on consciousness, then our life will be driven accordingly, correct? And that's what we are reading, a very thrilling episodes of the life of Srila Prabhupada, especially in Jhansi, how he gets the news about loss of his factory, and then a lot of challenges for families and issues, but still how Prabhupada goes on with a full surrender. Okay, so let us begin our today's discussion. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Aham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhantam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. So all of you also please recite the prayers, okay? It's not that I am only supposed to recite and you are not supposed to unmute and say, no. You can unmute on the device, but there you can be fully, you can mute on the device, but there you can fully unmute yourself and say loudly your prayers together. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Devishitare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Keep a mute, Manvik Pro. Just keep a mute. Just sound is coming background. Yeah. So let us begin Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita study. You all are able to see this screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Just let me go to that topic. Jhansi, the League of Devotees. Amazing episodes, Srila Prabhupada's, because he is a very representative of the Lord. So that's what exactly chosen by the Lord. If we would have been, or any of us at least would have been in the situation of Prabhupada, surely would have been shattered. But Prabhupada perfectly carrying on. And then now, especially we're reading about which episode now? What's happening? Anyone remember? I think so. I think here, correct. Is it correct, this one? We were about to read.
So we can show.
Yeah. Prabhupada's preaching started. He used to go to nearby villages and do Harinam Sankirtan, gather the people, and then invite them for Katha. Yeah, and that's what, while preaching locally, Abhay was planning globally. Correct. This was a point. So he was writing to his college friends, please come and join. We'll serve the world for spreading the mission of the Lord. Yeah, that's what this later now we're about to read. Yeah. My mission desires to train up 40 trainees. Now, how many of us were here in our session? Let's see. We are 4 only, 4 or 5. Prabhupada is telling to be minimum 40. Now, what's the plan? How? Let's see. And I have asked help from the government for this useful educational purpose. I want that you may be one of the trainees in this regard. And you can ask Karthik Dada to join us in this spirit. You will know from the paper sent to you how we live and what we do. And thus, you can make up your mind whether it is possible for you to join us. The first thing is that we want to train up some retired men in the Vanaprastha life and some young men in the Brahmacharya life. I have no inclination for the sannyas life, which is rather a difficult job for the fallen people of this age. The so-called sannyasis in the red garments have spoiled the good name of such order of life. Abhay also asked Rupen, kindly let me know the charges of this advertisement in the English and vernacular papers of Calcutta. So where Prabhupada is writing this? Prabhupada is writing in the newspaper advertisement. So please come and see what we're doing. And then we're looking for 2 ashramas, Vanaprastha and Brahmacharya. So we are in which ashrama right now? Hare Krishna. we all are in which ashrama right now? You understand? Sorry?
Brahmacharya ashram.
Brahmacharya ashram. Brahmacharya means not married, unmarried life. Then there is a Grihastha, then there is a Vanaprastha. All of you heard about that, right? And then there is a sannyas. Or if one want to continue, no need to go through Grihastha, directly continue Brahmacharya and go to further life, directly sannyas. So this is a system. So Prabhupada is asking for Brahmacharya life, some young men, and then Vanaprastha life. So sannyas, because people are of Kali Yuga, it's not possible for them. So that's why Prabhupada has no plan for them. Then Prabhupada says, what he has written the news, you see. Anyone remember where we read this? Wanted candidates from any nationality to qualify themselves as real Brahmins for preaching the teachings of Bhagavad Gita for all practical purposes throughout the whole world. Deserving candidates will be provided with free boarding and lodging. Apply. www. No, apply. AC Bhaktivedanta, founder and secretary of the League of Devotees, Bharati Bhavan, Post Office, Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh.
Advertisement.
Where we read this?
Newspaper, Sunday news.
No. Correct. Generally, we read kind of a newspapers and
Polls also.
The polls and all they paste in the buses also. They post wanted, right, things and all they put. But I'm saying this exact description, what is written here, wanted candidate from any nationality. Where else we read? I am able to recollect. Let me see whether all of you had read this already. That was a introduction of this chapter. You remember chapter 7 when it began, that part, what this chapter is going to speak about. As a summary they write in the top right. Let me show you. See, chapter 7 Jhansi, and then there is written wanted candidates from any nationality, right? Same paragraph. So Srila Prabhupada's spirit was, you see, practically he is welcoming Indians. Come on, wake up. Jeev Jago. We are sleeping in the lap of Maya now, and we are given this great responsibility for the whole world, so that we can really do good service. So we are ready to welcome you. Please come and join with us. So you see, this is a situation. Prabhupada was not ready to worry about, I don't have anything, how can I? Whatever is there, Prabhupada is going on and giving the opportunity for everyone. So that's what this is called as a missionary spirit of Srila Prabhupada, continuing for the service of his spiritual master. So otherwise, many times we give a reason, so I cannot do it or how it can happen. Nobody's taking interest. So Prabhupada was not ready to settle down. Abhay wanted a deed stating that the Bharati Bhavan belonged to the League of Devotees. So deed means what? D-double-E-D. Abhay wanted a deed stating that Bharati Bhavan, that building should be belong to this organization, the League of Devotees. What is meaning by deed? A deed means, no, not good thing. Deed means the bond. The bond, kind of a signed, authorized later. Previously, if you read that, what is his name? Radha Bhavan, I mean, that person's name it was given. So, nice, na Radha service, some Radha memorial, I think so. Anyway, so that was just given as a service kind of thing, but nothing official, because later again they will ask, give us the building back again. Then it will be a problem, right? So that's why Prabhupada wanted to get it officialized way. Yeah. So far he had only a promise, thinking of a Jhansi as a permanent headquarters. He wanted a written commitment. And because later people will change. Otherwise, again, Prabhupada will establish everything and then they will say, we want the building back. There's no much. That's what better to have a written agreement. So when he approached Reva Shankar Bhayal for a deed of gift, Mr. Bhayal gave Abhay a form requesting him to pay 500 rupees to register the buildings. But since Abhay had just suffered a loss of 7,000 rupees in Allahabad, okay, this is a huge amount those days, 100 years before, I mean 70, 80 years before, you can say 2025 right now, and this is 1955 around. 70 years before. So huge amount it is. 7,000 maybe kind of a lakhs worth of lakhs. And then on the top of that, he's asking 500 rupees you have to pay for the legal work. And had recently spent 3,000 rupees in his preaching, much of it going towards the opening day festival. He found himself unable to raise even a 500 rupees. Acharya Prabhakar, despite his academic position, had very little money and was being subsidized by his parents with 3 rupees a day. So 3 rupees was given every day. Most of Abhay's congregation, especially the students, were in a similar position. So who will support it, right? So Mr. Bhayal's request for 500 rupees didn't seem urgent. Nor did he say what would happen if Abhay couldn't pay. But he soon made another request. Mr. Abhay Charande should buy the Bharati Bhavan for 5,000 rupees. Now you see, 500 rupees for taking a legal work, but then now he is telling you buy the building and pay 5,000 rupees. Now, can you imagine what's going on? Just we have to put ourselves into the situation of Srila Prabhupada, because we have to understand who Prabhupada is. I mean, how old he is, and then what financial support he has, what familiar support he has. No sons, nobody there to stand with Prabhupada. So you see what is written. It was disconcerting. The generous gift had turned into a purchase offer. So he has given as a gift to Prabhupada, but then now it has become a purchase. The people in town were already referring to the property as Abhay Bhakti Vedanta's ashram, and the League of Devotees was printed in a large letter across the wall of the compound. Right? You saw one of the recordings of this discussion. We had given this picture. One person is standing and the big it is written outside the wall, the League of Devotees. When pressed by Abhay's friend, Mr. Bhayal assured them that Abhay could go on living there. So somehow other Abhay's friend requested. So then, but ultimately he would have to buy. Mr. Bhayal said he would give the League of Devotees first consideration and a good price. Abhay worried, not knowing what the landlord would do next. If the League could purchase the property, that would be the best. But he had been unable to raise even a 500 rupees. 5,000 seemed impossible. Abhay found no strong financial backing from his congregation. His League did not include even a single full-time worker. Now at the end, I'll tell you how we can understand how Srila Prabhupada is so amazing and so great. Just get into the situation, how Abhay is going on now in Jhansi. He did not know of one way to raise money. His pharmaceutical business, he did know of one way, that is his pharmaceutical business. He still had a small operation being run by his son in Calcutta. Abhay had formerly been earning 3,000 rupees a month. He considered approaching God brothers for help, but the prospects for earning the money himself seemed more likely. So you understand the meaning of the word God brother? Brother, all of you know, right? God brother means, what is meaning by God brother? Is God
Brothers by God.
Prabhu,
In relation to God.
Krishna Balram brothers. God brother.
Described as a god.
Like by our parents, there are brothers like that. By God, there are brothers.
Yeah. Same aged people who want to follow. Yeah, all of your concept is correct. But what is the meaning? Now, God, like a spiritual master, is the same. And then his disciples, like spiritual master becomes the father and disciples become the sons. So Abhay is a spiritual disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then another disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur will become Abhay's god brother. Clear? We are brothers called as a blood relatives because we belong to the same seminal father. same father and mother. So that's why we are called as a brother. In home, you have your brother or so, let's say. But in spiritual term, the spiritual master is the same. And then two disciples of the same spiritual master is called as a God brothers. Clear, na? All of you understood? So here God brother means Krishna, Balaram are correct. They are gods and they are brothers. But here that is not mentioned about. Okay, here God brother term means he considered approaching God brothers, means his other God brothers means his other disciples of Bhaktivedanta Thakur, along with him, those who were there that time. Clear? Shubham Prabhu, all of you understood? Manu Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why this term is. But then he thought approaching them is little, we don't know, but earning himself he thought is okay. For 30 years he had earned money by his pharmaceutical business, and he could do it again for the most worthy cause, that is for earning for this property. When he arrived in Calcutta, so Jhansi he left and came to Calcutta in the spring of 1954. He was without money. He chose to live with his god brothers at the Gaudiya Sangha in Chetla, the same neighborhood his family lived in. Since he had no money, the head of the ashram bore his expenses. Abhay gave daily discourses on Srimad Bhagavatam, which the Gaudiya Sangha brahmacharis highly appreciated. So Prabhupada did not go to home because now there's no money or kind of nothing much, so he stayed in the ashram. Now he's identifying himself as his spiritual master's committed person, Krishna Kumar Brahmachari. Even after he left, his sweet, melodious voice would ring in my ears. He used to often express a desire to go abroad and preach. Not that he wanted to go to America to see or something, but he had an instruction of his spiritual master. So that he used to remind again. One of his sons was running a small business, Wimalton Laboratory, and thus supporting the family. Abhay knew that his wife would not be interested in his work in Jhansi. So that's what he was knowing. She is not much supportive. His son had been there, but had not been impressed. The family would see his preaching in Jhansi as a threat to their home life. So they thought that our family will be kind of not been maintained if you go for Jhansi and then do those preaching works. So, of course, it looked like that from a material point of view. If he really has to take a commitment, give this business, and then go and just preach or do some works. But one should have a firm faith, as Srila Prabhupada demonstrated, that Krishna will take care. Krishna will protect. And that has been shown by many, many great saintly personalities also in the past. Like who remember the example of a poverty-stricken family? But they were not much worried. They had a faith. Krishna is there to care for us. Many episodes are there in the scriptures. Sudama is one famous. Okay. Sudama personally was not much bothered, but then for the sake of his children, his wife requested. So then, but wife was supportive. She was not like a kind of going against his devotion or so. There is one great character comes in mind about Santa Tukaram. How many of you heard about his name? Tukaram. In Maharashtra, he was there in the...
He was a great devotee of Vishnu.
Yeah, great devotee of Vittal. Yeah. So he was also not much worried, right, about maintaining the family, for looking for a business and all. And why this happens, with that we'll conclude for today. What is the reason? Are they irresponsible? No. Srimad Bhagavatam says how our life functions. Tasyaiva heto prayate ko vido na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyada tallabhyate dukkha vadanyata sukham kalena sarvatra gabhiraram hasa. As we don't want miseries in our life, we don't want problems. Is there anybody who goes on searching, Google search problems? I want problems. He's a mad only there. We don't want problems. Nobody looks for a problem, but still problems are coming. Same way, happiness will also come. We need not to worry much about what I will get in my life. things are destined for us. How much money we are going to get, what kind of comforts will come, based on our past karma, what all things we have done, it is destined here. Then does that mean that then we should not work? What is your answer? Anyone understood the point? If things are destined, then okay, just let me eat and sleep, or not work, let the
No.
things. Yeah. Then what does that mean then? Then why we are working? Yes, Jashit Prabhu, you read Bhagavatam. What is your...
Prabhuji did not understand the question. Like, can repeat again?
Yeah. Question is why we should work if the things are destined in our life as per our past. Then why to work? Anyway, how much amount we are going to get? How much
In
happiness?
future, this will become past and
Just a
that-
minute. Just a minute, Shubham. Let us hear.
Prabhuji means like we can only like earn money means like if we work only na Prabhuji. Even like in our destiny, it is there like the particular person means like this person will get rich. But like if only he tried or work, he can get like money na Prabhuji. It's like
Yeah. He can try, correct. But point is not, destiny is there. Even if you don't work, if it is written in your fate, it will come. Yeah, so Shubham Bro is telling that point, right? We are getting now because of our past, and future we'll get because of our present. You're understanding? Now we are getting all is the result of our past karma. But future what will come is a result of our present actions. So that's how we have to work. Then if that is a fact, then we need not to worry about much about present, because things are going to come. But then Bhagavatam says you do the efforts for human form of life is given a chance for taseva heto prayateta kovido. The intelligent people, kovidas, they work for what? Na labhyate yat brahmatam uparyata. That thing which is not possible to attain in all three planetary systems. You go to heaven, hells, or earth, anywhere you go, it's not possible to attain. You should attain for that thing. What is that? That is Krishna consciousness. That thing is possible only in the human form of life to do, so that we go beyond all these things and go back to God. Once human life is taken away, then where is the family? Where is our money? Nothing will remain with us. For time being, we all come together and again things get separated. But now we have come together, so let us use this nice opportunity to become Krishna conscious. Then that is so. That's what the great faith all the great personalities have. But somehow people go on the super soul is there in our heart. He knows everything. So why to worry? That's a full faith Srila Prabhupada and the great soul they have shown. But somehow the family people of the life of Srila Prabhupada's wife and sons, they were not so much supportive. Then how Abhay earns the money for his Jhansi building the League of Devotees, whether the things goes or not, or what other turns comes in the life of Prabhupada, that we'll study in our next discussion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Srila Prabhupada's desire, wanted dedicated men. Apply AC Bhaktivedanta. So now also we can apply to Srila Prabhupada. Stand in front of Prabhupada. Prabhupada's photo is there and you pray. Prabhupada, I am applying for you. So today's title will give apply to Srila Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada is ready to recruit now also. Prabhupada is ready to connect us right now also. Just turn towards Prabhupada. Just turn towards Lord Krishna and see how beautifully the things will come up. Thank you all very much for joining and giving all of your nice association.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And with Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.